Hello everyone. In this video we are going to learn about what is an activity and what is an activity lifecycle in Android. So if you open any Android app, you can see some set of screens or pages like login page and welcome page and register page. In Android, these screens are called activities. For every screen in Android apps, there will be a one XML file and corresponding Java file. In Android, we call XML file as layout files and Java file as activity. The designing of UI components is done in XML files, and for invoking actions for these UI components we use Java files or activities. Uh, Java is backend is used as a backend programming for developing Android apps. So the activity lifecycle is nothing but different states of an activity, like creating an activity. This is one stage, or uh, this is the one stage. Or if you want to destroy the activity, this is the one phase. Or if you want to start an activity, or you can pause an activity. These are the some different kinds of states of an activity. So these states are called activity lifecycle. So first of all, uh, let's do this practically. So first open your Android Studios and create one project. So I already done that, and I already done this process. So whenever you create a project, you will get one activity, one XML file and one Java file. See, if you are new to Android Studio, my suggestion is to watch our Android Studio 2 and Hello World app video in our Umang Solutions YouTube channel. I have already attached the link of that video in the description. So whenever you create an app, you will get one XML file and one Java file. This is the XML file and this is the corresponding Java file. So these two are interlinked. I already said this. XML files are called layout files, and Java files are called activities. See, this is the layout file. The UI components, we will design UI components. Okay, here activity, we will invoke actions for these UI components. Okay, so how these two files are interlinked? So here, through this statement, we are saying to Java that please link activity underscore main XML file to this Java file. We are saying these things to Java. See, Java, we have to bind these two things. Bind this XML file to this main activity file. Okay. So to create an activity file, to create a Java file, which uses the to create a Java file, or if you want to create an activity. So I already said that in Android Studio we called Java files as activity. So if you want to create an activity file in Android Studio, you have to extend your normal class. See, this is the class, public class, main activity. This is the normal Java class, what we have done in a normal Java programming language. This is the normal class. In Java programming, these are called classes. In Android Studio, this whole thing is an activity. See, this whole thing is an activity. Why this is an activity? Why this part is an activity? Why we are calling Java files an activity in Android Studio? Because this normal class, this normal Java class is extends with app compact activity class. So this class, because of this class is extended, so we are calling these Java files are activities. So if you want to understand this, why we are extend this app compact activity to our normal class, why we are extending the class. So if you want to understand, if you want to understand why we are extending our class with app compactivity, so we have to understand the activity life cycle. We have to learn the what are the things in the activity life cycle. If you learn the activity life cycle, then we can imagine why these app compact activity class is extended to our normal class. Okay, to understand the activity life cycle, first we have to know what are the phases of an activity, or what are the methods are used to create an activity or to destroy an activity. So let's move to that phase. So I prepared a PPT. So there are this is the PPT I prepared for you. So these are the four major phases. There are four major phases and 7 major methods for an activity. So the phases are: activity doesn't exist, activity in foreground, activity in background, activity is in pause. These are the four phases in an activity. These are the phases how an activity will goes. These are described through these phases, and there are 7 methods. So these are the methods. On create method is to create an activity. On start method is to create to start an activity. On stop is an method to stop an activity. So these are the different types of methods. These are the 7 major steps are used to describe the activity life cycle. Okay, so I will give you an example. Okay, let's move with an example. I will share my screen. Wait a second, I will share my screen. Wait a minute. See, this is my screen, and this is the people. See, this is the first phase is doesn't exist phase. How we can explain this thing? See, now every app in my mobile is in doesn't exist phase. I didn't open any app till now. So every app in my phone is in doesn't exist yet. If I open any app, let me open Umang app. See, now if I open Umang app, now the first activity, which one? This login activity. The first activity of this app is in foreground phase. Now this login activity is in foreground stage. It is running on foreground. If I enter the login button, see, I already fill the credentials, given the credentials. If I enter the login button, wait a second, let's see. Yeah, if I enter the login button, the login activity now moves to the background phase. The login activity will move to the background phase. See, the login activity just now it moved to the background phase, and welcome activity is now in the foreground phase. This is the welcome activity. So this is in the foreground phase. How an activity will move to the background phase to foreground phase to background phase? How an activity will move? See, just now only the login activity move from foreground phase to background phase. How which methods it will use? There are 7 methods. These 7 methods, the 7 methods are used in the activity life cycles. So now for moving from foreground to background, what are the methods used? See, from doesn't exist to foreground phase, it will use on create, on start, on resume methods. For moving from foreground phase to background phase, it use on pause and on start. So already the login activity in background phase. How I can move from? So see, we can also move. The activity can also move from background phase to foreground phase. How it can be moved? What are the methods it will use? See, now I am in welcome page. The login activity in background phase. How an activity will come from? How the login activity will come from background phase to foreground phase? Already the login activity is in background phase. So if I click on the back button, see, I will click on this back button. Now the login activity is in foreground phase. See, This is the login activity. See, now the login activity again in the foreground phase. The login activity is again in foreground phase. It will move from background phase to, see here, this background phase to foreground phase. What are the methods it will use? What are the methods the activity will use to move from background phase to foreground phase? On resume, it will use on resume method, on start method, and on restart method. So this is the how this is the active, these are the things will activity will do in background. So how an activity will move to pause state, how an activity will move to pause state. See, these are the four stages: doesn't exist state, foreground phase, and background phase, and another phase is pause state. How an activity will move from foreground phase to pause state, how it will move to this pause state. So if we get any phone call when we are in this login page, if we get a phone call on this login page, or simply we just press the lock button. See, if you press the lock button in your mobile phone, see, I will just press the lock button. Now see, I just press the lock button. See, this is the lock button. I just press the lock button. Now the login activity is in pause state. It moves from foreground phase to pause state. Okay, then the login activity is in pause state. An activity will move to pause state by using on pause method. It will move to foreground phase to pause state by using on pause method. How an activity will come from pause state to foreground phase? By using on resume method. See, I will just unlock my phone. Now the login activity is in foreground phase. Which method the activity used to come from pause state to foreground phase? On resume method. It will use on resume method. So now how an activity will move from this foreground state to doesn't exist state? How an activity will move from here foreground to doesn't exist phase? See, if I again press the lock button, if I press again the login button, see, I will press the login button. Again I will get the welcome page activity. See, I will get the welcome page activity. See, just I got welcome page activity. See, now the welcome page activity is in foreground phase. How this activity, this welcome page activity is in foreground phase now. How this activity will move from foreground phase to doesn't exist phase? How it will move? See, if I enter the back button, again I will enter the back button. What will happen if I enter the back button? What will happen? The welcome page activity will completely destroyed. There is no welcome page activity now. We just have only one screen login activity. It is not in background. If I will press again back button, if I press a back button again, will the welcome page activity will come to us? Will the app show the welcome page activity or anything else? No, the app will not show the welcome page activity if I press the back button again. So now the welcome page activity is in doesn't exist phase. How an activity will move from foreground phase to doesn't exist phase? It will use some methods. What are those methods? On destroy, on stop, on pause method. These are the three methods the activity will use to move from foreground phase to doesn't exist phase. This is the life cycle of an activity. This is the life cycle. Okay, I think everything is clear. See, this is the activity life cycle. Now at the starting of video I will set every normal class. If you want to create an activity, we have to extend our activity normal Java class to app compact activity. We have to extend our normal Java class to app compact activity. Why we have to extend? Why we have to extend? These are the I already explained you. This is the life cycle of an activity. So why we have to explain? What is the relation between these phases and methods with app compact activity class? What is the relation? why we have to extend? So why we have to extend? So this is the thing. The 4 phases and 7 methods are managed by the app compact activity class. These see this block diagram, see this diagram. These all methods are in app compact activity class. If we don't extend with if we don't extend our normal class with app compact with activity, we can't get these states. We can't create an activity. See, this is the reason we must extend our class with app compact activity class. In older versions of Android Studio, there is no app compact activity. On that time they use the activity class. They use this activity class. See, they use only the activity class because the older versions, the Android developers are still in the process to develop an app compact activity. So why they develop the app compact activity? Why they deprecated the activity class? Why they removed the activity class, and why they replaced the activity class with the app compact activity? What is the difference? What is the difference? What is the difference between activity and app compact activity? See, app compactivity activity has some basic classes which are represented in activity. See, whatever the in the older versions they use the activity class. So whatever the classes are exist in the activity class, those classes are used in the app compact activity in modern Android level, modern Android Studio. Okay, so every class in the activity class was dumped into app compact activity, and it has some material design widgets. So if you want to know about what is the material design and what are the widgets, we can google it, no problem. So it has app compact activity will have is also have some material design widgets and support action bars. If you extend your class with activity, you can't see the action bar in your app. To get this action bar, you must extend your class with app compact activity. This is the major difference between the activity and app compact activity. I will show you. See, I just open my class. If I remove this app compact activity, I will extend my normal class with activity class. I just extended with activity class. This is the normal class. I extended the normal class with activity class. See, now I will run my app. Now I will run the app. See, now in the screen you are having this Umang solution. See this Umang, you are having this bar. This is the action bar. We call this as action bar in Android Studio, and this is the toolbar. And this whole thing is the action bar. See, I will just run my app. You can't see that bars. This is the major difference between the app compact activity class and activity class. App compact activity class is the advanced version of activity class. I will show you my build process. Yeah, the app is building now. Don't forget that Android will give defaultly these things. This is the default thing Android Studio will do. It will create one onCreate method. Without this we can't create an activity. That's why it will give onCreate method by default. This is the line where we can connect the XML file with the Java file. And what is the purpose of XML file? It is used to develop the UI components, design the UI components. If you want to know more about XML and Java, you can watch our previous videos in a Android app development playlist. So the project is in build phase. If you have any doubts in any video, you can just contact us or you can just email us. We will rectify this. We will rectify those errors, and we will also going to make one video on those errors. Okay, don't hesitate to email us. Just email us if you have any doubt, or if you got any errors. We will just do one video on that error. You can watch that video. Okay, see, now the app, the build process is finished. I will share my screen. See, you can't see the toolbar and you can't see the action bar. You have only one toolbar here. You have one toolbar, but we can't see the action bar. Why we can't see the action bar? Why we can't see the action bar? Because we are extended with the activity class. Activity class has no inbuilt action bar classes. I already told you that the app compact activity class has some material design wizards and support action bar material, support action bars. So it will have this app compact activity class has these things, but activity class, these things are not there in the activity class. That's why we can't see the action bar here. We can't see the action bar. See, now I will remove the activity and I will extend this with app compact activity. See, now I will run my app. I will run my app again. Now we can able to see the action bar. Now we can able to see the action bar. See, yeah, the build process is finished. See, now you can see the action bar. I will open my Umang app. See now you can see the action bar. So this is the difference between the app compact activity and activity class. So this is the life cycle of an activity. This is what happened in the backend. This is the thing what happened in the backend. In the next video, we are going to make an application that shows how an activity will start, how an activity will destroy, how an activity will resume. These things are shown in next video. Until then, bye.